Okay, so we are 2 Raws down in the year 2011. We got to see the continuation of Punk taking over Nexus, which ironically was the sheer bulk of this week's Raw, as well as another match between R-Truth and Alberto Del Rio. I'm still trying to figure that feud out. But again, as always, Alberto Del Rio, he won by countout. Ironically, I don't recall there being a Divas match. Just kind of bizarre. Another really solid match between John Morrison and Sheamus. It's got some great in-ring work, but I'll be honest, I'm trying to figure out why they're still fighting. I know it initially started from Santino Marella getting beaten up by Sheamus and John Morrison showing up calling him a bully. But after they feuded for number contendership in a ladder match at TLC, why are they still fighting? It almost seems like you can tell that they're doing a feud with Morrison just to keep him doing something before he goes into the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania, as well as just keeping Sheamus busy until Triple H comes back for them to have their match at WrestleMania. A great ring, really good, solid match with Morrison getting the win. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It's just those two guys fighting for the sake of a decent, solid feud. They also had Daniel Bryan and Mark Henry team up to take on Ted DiBiase and Tyson Kidd. Now, Tyson Kidd, when he separated from, David Hart Smith, seemed like he was going to go places. And he hasn't. He's pretty much lost since they broke up the Hart Dynasty. And I can't recall the last time DiBiase was on the winning end of anything. I don't know why he's getting buried. They don't need to constantly have DiBiase lose to make Daniels look good. Daniels looks good on his own. But time to get to the real meat of this, which is all about the Nexus. The Nexus did their standard beatdown in the beginning to take out Santino Marella and Kozlov. And then Punk mentioned it was going to be like a trial by fire night. Everyone had to go through initiation. McGillicuddy had to take essentially a Nexus beatdown. And he did. Husky Harris had to take essentially leather strap beating. And he did. Otunga had to essentially get the crap beat out by the Big Show. And he did. Which then left it down to Gabriel and the Ginger. Punk handed them kendo sticks and more or less went, you two, beat the crap out of each other. You fight till I say you're done. And lots of pretty good tension at this moment. And they decided they didn't want to. At first they thought they were going to hit Punk. Punk went, fine, go ahead and hit me. Not going to hit me? So I guess Gabriel and the Ginger are out. Of course, shortly after that, Punk appeared on top of the Titantron. Mentioned that his sacrifice, his initiation, was going to be jumping from the Titantron. And then he called everyone in Nashville a bunch of idiots for believing him, and then said, I have a harness and 2 people spotting me. Of course, then led to the verbal sparring match between Cena and Punk. So next week, Cena's going to take on CM Punk, which should be a very good match. Now, of course, the new, leaner, meaner Nexus has happened quite a few times. Because they became a leaner, meaner Nexus after they lost Daniel Bryan, after they lost Darren Young, after they lost Tarver, after they lost Skip Sheffield. They became a stronger Nexus when they picked up McGillicuddy and Husky Harris. Then they became stronger when they picked up Cena. And then when Cena left. And they became stronger when they picked up Punk. And then Barrett left. So it's kind of hard to say it's the most dominant stable if it keeps on rotating members as fast as it does. As of right now, you've got Barrett, Tarver, Sheffield, Young, Ginger, and Justin Gabriel. You have 6 people who are former Nexus members. In the current Nexus, Husky, McGillicuddy, Otunga, and Punk. So you've got, 6 former members of Nexus already, and it hasn't even been a year. It's probably going to hurt the longevity of that group. You also got to see a match between Miz and Lawler. Miz and A-Rye versus Lawler and Orton. Of course, they're in Nashville, Tennessee, so you can probably figure out who got the pinfall in that match. And they finally set the first nominee, 2011 Hall of Fame, Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Knowing that they mentioned Atlanta might be a more WCW filled one, I guess if they can't get people who want to do it, I'm still holding out for Sting. I think Sting would really legitimize the Hall of Fame. So this one wasn't as good as last week's, with the awesome opening match and a great, triple threat steel cage match at the end. But it's a decent build up for what they're doing on their way to Royal Rumble, the first step on the road to WrestleMania.